Hi everyone, it's Jerry. I'm on leadchess.org, and I just got paired up playing a 5-2 game. I play e6 maybe too much. Let's try g6 and try for a dark square strategy. On knight f3, well, scratch that. I was going to play bishop g4, so let's go with this. Knight c6. And then this idea of a6, rook b8, and then b5. I wonder about playing h6 right now. h6 or h5. I'm going to go with h5. Weakens g5, so I have to be careful of this. I may be taking the knight out if he arrives on a3. h3, scratch that. Let's try rook b8, b5. Yeah, on h4, knight 8, knight h3, I'm going to give up my light square bishop for that knight. He could be a great pest on g5. So let's see. If knight here, this masks b5. So can I not just clamp down on g3? I'm going to go for that. Maybe knight h5 to g3. I have this strike. I'm not sure if I want to go in for that right now. My knight might be kicked soon with this. I don't have the e5 square anymore. If this move, I think I could play knight a5. Actually, no, I can't. I'd get trapped with the b4. Do I need to play e5 right now? Or maybe e6? Yeah, I'm thinking more about e6. If I go e5, f takes, e takes, d5. If e5 takes twice with the pawn, I don't think I'm too concerned about that. Should I go in for e5? Let's give this a shot. Yeah, let's go in for that. The queen's the leader, so it'd be different if this rook, if the queen and rook's position was switched around, e5 wouldn't be good. Because on takes, I couldn't take back. So let's see. I'd be fine with the queen trade at the end. If they have double isolated pawns, I should be able to hunt that pawn down. We'll see, though. Have a time edge. The usual case. Yeah, if I wasn't careful, I think this, and I didn't have this square because the bishop observes it. And on push here, b4, I think my knight's just gone. I don't think I'd have any compensation. I know that this is a pretty committal move for white to make, since this is where their king resides. But yeah, I'd be down a piece. They got a beefy center here. Okay, no queen trade. Oh, I didn't even consider that. I guess on queen e7, bishop c5. Queen e7, bishop c5, queen e6, knight d5. Pretty scary. Do I need to play bishop d7? Maybe. Queen e7, bishop c5, queen e6, knight d5. I can't take because of pawn takes and I'm in a fork. Additionally, knight on d5 is threatening on c7. I think I need to play bishop d7, as awkward as that is. Okay. Not a fun move to play, for sure. Yeah, this isn't too great. I wasn't thinking that that move would be played. Doesn't this help me some? I wonder if I should even take. Probably. Maybe this push. I was considering a knight move right away. I guess I'm going to drop that pawn on h4. So I might be all right with that. Or even I could consider bishop here, although queen takes that. I still have some pretty good dark square control. Considering c6 just to keep the knight out of d5. But if I can maintain this knight, the knight will watch over that. I think I want to get rid of their dark square bishop. Let me do that. Bishop takes is with check. Queen takes knight, queen takes queen. Bishop's pinned. So I'm expecting queen takes h4 here. I'm giving up a pawn, but again, I guess I'll be trying to show that this knight is worth something. We'll see how much that is worth. Queen takes h4. They're going to be up a pawn, but maybe material isn't that big of a factor since we are basically on opposite wings with our kings. I wasn't expecting that. We could still be looking, or I could still be looking into this move. Thought I just lost a piece. I'm very close to doing that. A double attack here. Rook and knight. I gotta play here. May have just blundered a piece straight up. Think I have to do this. Yeah, bishop e2 now. Okay. Well, I'm now going to be down the exchange at least. Under a minute. I don't think I have anything. Gotta go for that. And how to recapture exactly. Knight takes, I'm on the queen. Queen h6 is very active. What else do I have? I guess I have to go for this. And I guess here. Threatening queen here stuff. My knight is there to defend the bishop, so I'm down the exchange. Okay, I was expecting the queens to still stay on board. I have still some dark square control. It's clearly not going to be enough, but... Okay, let's take here. They could consider taking here. And they are going for that. Do I have any tricks here? I don't think so. Well, let's see if my knights could manage anything. I have to play g5 if rook to f1. I have a fork here. You see, the elimination of that c-pawn, that means the knight on d5 is going to be a monster. Let's see if I could put up any resistance here, being down the exchange and a pawn. Highly doubt it. That f4 move really was really strong. Okay. Noted. Can I not just grab that pawn? Let's grab a pawn. And babysit that knight. Maybe g5, g4 and start racing. Yeah. Knights are tricky. To watch out for forks. I'm glad he's not in the center. I'd much rather him in the center. If he's removed, I'm basically dead. For sure. I could think about knight f4 and then knight h3, but I'm leaning more towards just maybe even sacking a pawn and letting my h-pawn become passed. Something much more direct, in other words. Let's go for it. Could care less about these guys. There's no way I could try and defend against these threats over here on the queen side. Yeah, let's keep going. Okay. Yeah, let's keep pushing. Keep going. Okay. I can maybe take here. Didn't see that move. Rook takes pawn. King g8. They could throw in some checks. Rook g7, I have to move my king. Knight takes rook, I get a queen with check. Gotta come back over. Oh, they could just take right now. Yep, time to resign. The rook is behind that passed pawn as well. I didn't hit confirm. Alright. GG. Let me go into the analysis. f4, as soon as f4 hit, I was clearly the worst side. Wonder if I could have done something a little bit different around here. I know I've experimented with h5 before. I'm pretty sure the computer would suggest this in this position, but I'm not really so big a fan of allowing this clear plan by white, which is to say this bishop h6 move and exchanging dark square bishops, and then going for, you know, this Yugoslav-like attack, like you would see in the Sicilian defense. h4, g4, h5. So h5 prevents the quick exchange of the dark square bishops. And I played rook to b8. Pretty sure that this is an idea. a6, rook b8, and then this b5 move. Yeah, I guess right around here after h3, I suspect that this is where there's some improvement. My eyes, I must say, immediately lit up when I see h3, because I see this as a whole, and I'm trying to clamp down with h4. Like, I see this as like a nice, it's a desirable pawn move to clamp down on the g3 square and look to, anchor a knight in there. But I think there's going to be some shift here. This is where I could improve something other than this h4 move, because the reply f4 is really strong, I think. Let me put on the engine. I think right around here I could certainly use its help. The arrows are on. So right at this point, it's suggesting knight h5, which is surprising. Am I not just losing a piece? My concern was this. Okay. Knight there, rook here, takes. Interesting. I have this move, and there's no time for this, because I'm on c4. I didn't see this idea in the game. Knight h5 is threatening knight g3. I'm not winning material, but the resulting position eliminates this light square bishop, which is allowing the reply well, it's allowing me to meet this d5 move with knight a5 where I am throwing some punch. If I'm just to do something like quite natural like castles, this is much different because on d5 here I'm not threatening this square, and so b4 can hit. Although surprisingly enough, I guess there's still crazy stuff happening. You notice the evaluation here. I guess I could play this position still down a piece. b5, pawn takes here, and then knight takes. Wow. Yeah, that'd get pretty crazy. But the main point here is that I just didn't see this idea where the knight can actually safely go to a5. I didn't appreciate this variation where I could take out the light square bishop, the defender of c4, and land on a5 with some tempo. So that really messed with me some, not seeing this idea. Played e5, and now I'm just worse. e5's no good. Takes. Queen f2 is a strong move. Knight to d7, I played bishop d7, and this is the problem. Queen here, yeah, is crushed because of what I mentioned in the game. This is too much, +3. So unfortunately I had to work myself into a pin. Queen f2 was a strong move. Exchanging queens relieves the pressure. I didn't have too much concern about this being down a pawn because I could get him back. Knight here, and then I could scoop him up. This is a strong square for the knight. Watches over c7. Yeah. Well, this was the downfall right here, right in the middle game. This, not seeing this idea of knight h5 into g4 and meeting d5 with knight a5. Okay. So, I don't think I had any... Well, no, I still have some chance. Tactics. I went with bishop h6, and this is a losing move because of exactly what white did. Queen f5. And I don't think there was anything from there. But this, I have an opportunity for knight g4. And you know what? I could also take out that dark square bishop as well. Suppose queen here or here to defend the bishop. I could take the bishop. Although it's suggesting f6 and the bishop is trapped. But on queen here, you know, if I really wanted to, I could take here and then play bishop here, and on takes I could recapture like this. And yeah, I would certainly be a fan of this position over the one in the game for sure. I like having control over this e5 square, one that could be challenged at this point, but still, you know, it's still a game for sure. And even in this ending, I see this as a potential long-term liability for white, one that they have to watch over because of my bishop. Pawn fixed on a light square. His eyes kind of light up. Yeah, this was a middle game. I didn't properly assess this e5 advance, and they came up with a strong reply, queen f2, avoiding the queen exchange. And now that the d file is opened up, this looks really, really awkward. Rook to b8. I should mention that the idea with this, you know, rook to b8 is if this knight is playing here, I can already consider a move like b5. You know, the knight here is obstructing the bishop's view of b5. Could play b5 and then, you know, go in for this kind of stuff. But yeah, didn't quite come to that point. I didn't quite get in the b5 move. Things heated up in the center. I had to really see this knight h5 move, and I didn't. e5, yeah, and just take it a little bit further. Well, I didn't see e5, nor this tactical idea of knight to g4. How could I have seen that? He is unprotected. Knight's on the same color square as the queen. Likely make a move and throw a punch at the queen. Okay. Just making mental notes for myself here. And from this point it's busted. Just playing through some pawn and a half. Yeah. I think this was the right decision to take the bishop and activate the rook. They're taking with the pawn. Of course, it's still good, but it's the better decision to do, to take like this. Because I have this square for my knight. I'm throwing a punch at the pawn. And also, I could play c6 and kind of keep the knight under control. He has to reroute, and I don't have to worry about the rook entering in the 7th, at least right away. Clearly, white is still the better side here, being up the exchange, but you know, this is certainly an important decision which piece to take at this stage. You know, would you be taking like this, or would you be activating your rook? It's best they went with this. Well, also because they're winning some more material. Grabbing on c7, and he's super significant because now I cannot keep out knight to d5. Although that was never even played in the game, but that's kind of weird. It only says 0.7 advantage. Oh my goodness. The rook is trapped. I did not see that. This backward move, knight to e6, this rook is actually trapped. Huh. How do you like that? Knight to e6. Wow. Totally did not see that one. Neither did my opponent. They're still the better side, but I guess I do get that guy back. Okay, didn't consider that at all. I took the pawn. And it is back to even. Wow. Play knight to f4. And on knight takes rook, I have knight e3. Man. Okay. And so I guess there were some opportunities, even though I lost that material after queen to f4. And bishop to bishop to e2 takes rook. There were still some opportunities for me. I guess even around here, just being down a pawn. And now it's just completely busted. I guess I have to return. Rook here. What's wrong with rook there? These checks. Wow, what a messy position. Tough to calculate. Easy to go wrong here for white with these knights around and this pawn a step away from queening. I think they could have maybe even done one better somewhere around here. I wonder if there was a better approach, because clearly we're seeing, you know, a spot where there's opportunities for me to make it a little bit more difficult on white. I wonder if there was some cleaner approach for white so that they're not even having to worry about a passed h pawn. Play g5. They just started pushing. Guess it's suggesting here if the rook could get behind. Yeah, I guess it's a little bit tricky, you know, with this very direct play I have here, pushing the g pawn. I guess I will end up with the passed h pawn, but devoting a knight to defending against that passed pawn, I guess, is quite all right. Yeah, no, I don't think there's any big improvement, let's just say, with how white could have converted this endgame. Yeah, I think it's good. And yeah, from here it's just busted after a check. Rook right here. And they're threatening mate. They're stopping this. And they're ready to just scoop up the rook. I needed to throw in the check, but we're looking at +8 now, +9. Okay, well, play and learn, huh? I could use some more work with this opening for sure. E5, no good. Or, at the very least, on this F4 move, I have to see this idea of knight to G3, hunting down that light square bishop, and then have this idea in mind, counterplay against the C4 pawn. And maybe even then, later on, I could finally follow through with that B5 advance. Okay, well, as usual, feel free to leave any feedback to this video in the comments section below. And as usual, I hope you got something out of it. That's all for now. Take care.